So the Book of Boba Fett, aka The Mandalorian, Season 2.5. Let's talk about it. Alright, so this is going to be my review on the Book of Boba Fett. Now, I'll maybe say spoiler alert or anything like that. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to say any spoilers in this review, but just in case, spoiler alert for anything that I might say. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, let me just say overall, the season I thought was good. It was good. It was good. I will have to say it's good overall. I liked it. I enjoyed most of it for the most part. With that being said, there's a couple things in there I thought they could have done better. A couple of things in there that were a little bland for me. I actually caught myself being like wanting more. Honestly, there's a couple of times I was wanting more. It was a little bland in a few episodes, or not a few episodes necessarily, just a little few parts here and there for me that left me really wanting them to do more, like do something more, you know. And this, I just gotta say, this season was a little weird, a little bizarre for me. Not that much, but a little. It was a little bit. Uh, the reason why is because it was just weird and bizarre to me that it's called the Book of Boba Fett. It's a show that's supposed to be about Boba Fett, but it's like it wasn't like more like half or at least more than half the season wasn't even about Boba Fett that much. Like there's literally two episodes in this season. Now this is a 7 season episode. There's 7 episodes. Two of those episodes were literally Mandalorian episodes or episodes where Boba Fett didn't even appear in them. I was like, what is this? Like, this is stuff, like, those two episodes really was like stuff they could have done in The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, I know they're trying to, if they were trying to set up a Season 3, I know if they're trying to do that. I get if they're trying to do that, but it's like, you don't really need it in this story, this season for the Book of Boba Fett. It's like you could save it for Mandalorian Season 3. Honestly, you could. But that just goes to show that they either didn't have faith in Boba Fett carrying his own story, or they didn't believe in the story that they were telling with Boba Fett, or something like that's how it comes across whenever they were doing that. It's like, okay, we're going to give you this story of Boba Fett, but then go ahead, turn around and just give us the Mandalorian episodes and have the Mandalorian featured in this show heavily, like throughout the other episodes. And it's like saying that they didn't really have faith in the story they were telling with Boba Fett, or they had faith in the character of Boba Fett for telling a compelling story. Like that's how it came across to me. Like they needed support, they needed another arc or something in there to fill up the season, or make the show a little bit interesting to people. Because if you take those two episodes out and you focus on the parts with Boba Fett and the overall story, like it was all right. It was all right. Like for the most part, I thought it was all right. It was okay. I enjoyed it for the most part. But like I said, there was parts in there that were a little bland to me, and I was like, I really wanted something more. I wanted something else. I wanted something more, or tell a more compelling story. And it's like I felt like it didn't really tell too much of a compelling story as compared to like the previous Mandalorian seasons or something like that. Like the previous Mandalorian seasons were honestly really good. They told compelling stories and stuff. But what I was saying in the beginning of like this series before it came out, and then after watching the first episode or first two episodes, whatever, I was saying, um, I don't know if Boba Fett they'll be able to tell a compelling story with Boba Fett. And the thing that I was worried about was that a lot of stuff that happens, or a lot of the main attraction for Boba Fett before this show came out was he literally was a mystery to people, and it's like that mystery is what drove his character and drove people to like him more. And just him wearing a helmet, nobody knew what he looked like until we found out. When he took off the helmet last season and stuff like that, and then we found out he's a clone and stuff like that. And that's when we were like saying we finally saw what he looked like and stuff like that. And it's like that mystery and just that overall being a bounty hunter and stuff like that. Like people it kept the mystery alive and stuff like that. And I think that's what really drove him for people liking him and stuff like that. And that was one thing I was worried about with the season was like they're gonna reveal more about this character. They're gonna tell a story with this character. A whole few episodes of this character is gonna have a story and stuff like that. It's like they're gonna do that. They're gonna take away the mystery. They're gonna take away all that. But like, even if they do that, just let it be a good story. Let it be a compelling story. And I feel like it was alright. It was a right story. It was a right story. But it's like the fact that they were using episodes to set up other stuff or bring in other characters, telling other different arcs within this story. It just showed that they didn't really have faith or something behind the character of Boba Fett or faith in their story that they were telling. And one thing I really wanted to talk about was I will say like there's actually a couple things I will fix. I was thinking of making a quick TikTok video. Y'all can follow my TikTok. I'll try to leave a link for it. I was thinking of making a separate quick TikTok video of things I would like actually do or change or like fix about the season to make it that much more compelling and interesting in my opinion at least. Like what things would I do to change some stuff to make it more interesting towards me and it possibly could be interesting towards other people. So I might make a little separate TikTok quick little video about that on my TikTok. So y'all follow me on there. I'll try to leave the links to that. But like I was saying, one thing I wish they would do more was so we had the Pikes in there, and the Pikes honestly weren't a good villain. Like the Pikes were just there, and like going back to the compelling story and stuff, and then going back to like the episodes and stuff like that. It's like they're telling. They had the flashbacks. The flashbacks were good. I gotta say, the flashbacks were good for this first few episodes, and seeing him with the Tusken Raiders, and then Tusken Raiders got killed off, and holds a little bit emotional depth, but then he goes after the biker gang and stuff like that, and it seemed pretty much over and stuff like that. But then, the finale episode, it turns out it was the Pikes that did it, and it's like, I felt like you should have revealed that the Pikes did it a lot sooner. That way, Boba Fett finds out a little bit sooner. That way, in the finale, it's like him taking on the Pikes, and it's like more of an emotional thing, more of emotional weight to it that he's taking on the Pikes, just not for like not just because they're taking over like the spice his territory and they had the spice trade and all that stuff, but it's like making more emotional weight to it to why he's actually taking them down. That's one thing I would change about it, but I don't want to get into it too much about what things I would change. But like I was saying, make the Pikes more interesting, make them a more compelling type of villain, make them more menacing, like make the Pikes where people were like actually think like these are a huge threat to us and all that stuff. Like, and I didn't feel that. I did not feel that. I didn't feel the Pikes were threatening enough or anything like that, menacing or anything like that. I just felt like they weren't a very compelling villain for the show or anything like that. And another thing was like, speaking of the Pikes and how they weren't really a good villain for me, was like, you get the story, you get the separate episodes, like I was talking about the episodes with the Mandalorian featuring in that, and it's like you're telling this whole separate arc real quick for the Mandalorian, and then you forget, oh wait, we have a finale that's coming up. Oh wait, who's the villains again? Oh, it's the Pikes. I remember now. That's the thing that came across. Like that's how it came across for me. It's like the villains, the Pikes weren't really threatening enough, and it's just like I don't even know. It's like I don't know. I just felt like they weren't threatening enough and stuff like that. But we did get the speaking of Pikes, they did hire Muscle and stuff like that, and we get that in the form of Cad Bane, which I thought was very interesting and awesome addition to the show. He was really compelling and really awesome addition to the show. Cad Bane was, and like what it was, he came out like 2 episodes really. Well, he came out at the end of 1 episode, and he was in the finale episode. So yeah, uh, he was good. I could have I honestly would have wanted him a little bit more in the show. That would have been cool. But like nonetheless, he was a good character to bring in for the show, and at least the finale episode, he was pretty good too. So speaking of finale, the finale, like they're like throughout the season, they're kind of talking about we're going to go to war. There's a big war coming. Oh, we have the war coming up and stuff. We need to find an army. We need to find soldiers and stuff like that. Like that was mentioned throughout the series, and it's like by the time we get to the finale episode, it's like, well, this ain't really a war. This is more of just a little low class kind of battle, going on. This is just between a few people. You got the Boba Fett's army, or it's not really an army, it's more of a squadron of sorts. It's only a few people, like 10 at most people. And then you got the Pikes there too that don't have many people around them either, but you got a couple of droids too and stuff like that. And it's like it's not really a war or anything. It's like more of a low class kind of battle, just in a little small vicinity of the town, whatever. And it's like, well, this ain't really a huge thing, but stuff like that. And if I found myself kind of like, there's a couple parts in the finale where I was like, oh, that's cool, especially the part where Boba Fett came out on a Rancor. That was awesome. Now that was cool. That was awesome. And then seeing the parts with him and Mando teaming up and battling some of the Pikes and some of the droids, that's pretty cool too. But some of the other parts, just felt slightly bland to me, and I was like wanting a little bit more from it. So like the finale was a little here and there for me, for the finale episodes. But yeah, I mean, like this, like I was saying, this season was a little weird and bizarre for me, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed most of it. Like overall, for the most part, I enjoyed most of it still. Just a couple things here and there that were a little bland for me. I would have changed or done something different. And like I was saying, I'll probably try to make a little quick TikTok video talking about things I would change or something like that on my TikTok, whatever. I'll probably try to do that, something real quick. But like I was saying, overall, I did enjoy it, the show, and it was okay and stuff like that. The story was a little lacking for me. It needed to be more compelling, I thought. And just going back to the two episodes, those were actually literally the best episodes of the show, the series. Those two episodes, and they didn't even have Boba Fett in them. It was like weird to me, and it's like it came across to me as like you're not entrusting, or you don't believe in the character of Boba Fett, or either you don't believe in the story you're telling with him. So it's like you have to have these other episodes or this other arc to help move things along, or help, make the show better, or do something to help the show. Because it's like the other parts with Boba Fett weren't very super really interesting. And I was worried, like that was one thing I was worried about for the show. And just I don't know. I don't know how else to say stuff about it really. Like I said, I enjoyed overall. The show was good, I thought, and like I enjoyed it for the most part. But just those little things here and there. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, before I get into start rambling on and get into start talking too much about this series, don't want to be doing that. The video will be too long. But nonetheless, like I was saying, just those things right there. Basically, um, but yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in The Mandalorian season 3 after the events of this series here. I don't know if we're getting another season of Boba Fett show, or if Boba Fett's going to come back in Mandalorian season 3 or not. But I don't know. We just got to wait and see on that. But let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on the book of Boba Fett if you've seen the show. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember, if you want to be part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope you all have an awesome day. And remember, be legendary.